Hi, welcome to another episode of Car to Car. I'm Ramon.
And hi, I'm Dana. And today we'll discuss a case out of Franklin Township, New Jersey, where a police sergeant responded to uh, three calls regarding shots fired and people screaming. And his response was very lackluster, to say the least. Ramon, what do you think about it?
Well, first of all, I think you miscategorize what he in fact did because I don't think he responded to the call. I think he did a go by on eventually on the call because there was three calls. So you have a sergeant who gets um, dispatched to a call where there's multiple calls where there's shots being fired. Three different people, three different locations. And so instead of you responding, because once you understand that there's shots being fired, it's not just one person, it's multiple people saying that shots are fired, you should readily respond over there. But in fact, he didn't respond readily. He went to allegedly to get some pizza, went to the ATM, and then he responded. And then when he responded, he only went to one location and didn't um, have his body worn camera on, so you don't know what conversation he had, and didn't really check to see what was going on. And so the next day, um, they found that there was two people shot, actually murdered by a trooper who killed himself. Like this was a big cluster that I really believe should cost this sergeant his job. I mean, as supervisors, we're held to even a higher standard than a regular police officer, and so he should have known how important it is to go to a call and to ensure that there was no one that was injured in any of these calls. So that's my initial thoughts on this.
Well, I absolutely believe that he should lose his job. There's a couple of things that I had a problem with. One, just even, as you say, not responding to the calls when he did it, no investigatory uh, type dealings to see where those shots were coming from. But in addition to that, his written report was totally different from his body cam. So he's just totally just lying on official documents. And had he done some type of investigation, maybe it's possible that he could have had help for those two people that were shot. Instead of bleeding out overnight with no assistance, maybe he could have had called rescue for them. So it was a total miscarriage of justice that I believe, for sure. And as a supervisor, I don't even see why, even when shots are being fired, one, you should go right away, period. But say you can't make it right away, why not ask for backup? Why not ask for someone else to come to also assist you in that call? I don't understand the logic of him just not going three on people calling. If three separate people calling you about people screaming, shots being fired, there's a sense of urgency that you have to meet.
No, I agree. And, we often tell citizens if you see something, say something. And in this case, they heard something and they made phone calls to ensure the safety of their neighborhood. I mean, we can't be everywhere all the time. And to be able to have great citizens making sure that their individual neighborhood is secure is a plus. And then when we're supposed to do our part, we don't show up. And so, like you said, I do believe that this sergeant should be fired. And I was looking and I didn't see uh, many news outlets or any supervisors, the chief or anybody coming out and talking about this. I know the first thing that police departments do is they run from liability, but I think they should stand up. They should say, hey, listen, this is not indicative of who we are as a police department. Um, you are safe in our city. Appreciate you calling. Like we need to do some community relations here. Like this could really set us back as a police department. So I think more should be done by the leadership of that department.
I agree, and it seems to be some tension between the police and the family because the female victim, she did try to file a complaint or attempt to get a restraining order on the trooper. So the police department wasn't responsive to there. So there's some tension, but they should at least come out and tell the family that they're sorry for dropping the ball in this instance, and because two lives were lost, and maybe they could have had an opportunity at life by getting medical assistance sooner.
Yeah, well, three lives were lost because the lieutenant trooper
Yes.
killed himself afterwards, did a cowardly move. But forget the tension. The our Bill of Rights, our oath, the Constitution doesn't say anything about, oh, I'm only gonna serve and protect if we're on friendly terms. No, we need to do our job. That's what we get paid for.
Well,
And
I'm talking about the tension as far as why they might be reluctant to say I'm sorry, apologize. But the sergeant responded to the call. Absolutely, he should have went right away. Anytime you get a shot fired and people are screaming, that you have to go right away.
well, even if they don't apologize to the person's family who was killed, which I don't see why they shouldn't. But what about to the community? Say, hey, listen, this is not indicative of who we are. We're a better police department than what we just showed you. And so I think that's where there needs to be more talk that comes out, more conversation, more communication. I mean, look at Jacksonville police chief. Every time he finds a situation where he can disrespect or grandstand about putting someone in jail. What happens when it's the reverse? The only way that we're going to keep credibility is that we have to hold ourselves to account. And I think sometimes we truly don't hold ourselves to account. And that's why we have some of the conversations or lack of conversation or lack of communication that we have with the community, because we're phony. Police departments can be very phony at times. And so this is one of those phony moments.
Agreed. Agreed.
Well, that's all I have.
That's all I have. Just one part of reminder: when shots fired, go right away, because there's a difference between life and death. So, with that, it's another episode of Car to Car Podcast. Please be sure to like, share, subscribe, comment, and
Until next time.
till next time.